is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I saw that Paris Hilton was being pushed and trending again because she has some new cooking show, and I thought, why not take this opportunity to talk about Paris Hilton and the Hilton bloodline and why Paris Hilton is Paris Hilton. These are things that people don't normally ask. A lot of people are so dumbed down they don't even realize that Paris Hilton is related to the Hilton, hotel chain, the Hiltons, and the other hotels, the Hampton Inn, which is owned by Hilton. And this is the only reason that Paris Hilton ever became famous. There's no such thing as a socialite or whatever she was calling herself. And it's all the same connections that I talk about. I'm going to show you her bloodline connections, her connections to the Rothschilds, her sister's connection, and how they interbreeded these bloodlines. And first I'll show you this, the basically obvious stuff that most of you already know about. Obviously you can see here there's no hiding anything with the pyramid and the all-seeing eye on it, right, holding it up. Or here, specifically taking a selfie wearing a shirt that has an eye on it. But hey, I guess before Paris Hilton realized that she could become a socialite and not have to work, she really wanted to become an optometrist. She was talked out of it by her family. They said, look, you could just have this eyeball fetish around the house, wear these shirts with eyeballs. You don't need to become an eye doctor. And she said, okay. And instead she became whatever a socialite is, and she wears shirts with eyeballs on it because, hey, that's what we all want to do. There's no coding there. There's no messaging. It's just normal human behavior. Yeah, right. Then, of course, we have, which is the most common theme, is the connection to the Kabbalah, right? The Kabbalah, which is Jewish mysticism. The Kabbalah, which promotes magic. That all these celebrities, Madonna, you can go down the list of all the celebrities that promote it, that talk about it. You can even read articles where Paris Hilton converts to Kabbalah. This one says the Hotel Harris says whenever she's miserable, she drives straight to her local Kabbalah center for help. Paris believes speaking to fellow devotees of the mysticism helps her deal with her stressful life, and she's told that she recommends it to everybody, yada, 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 right? So, of course, we see that. And this is one of the things that people just automatically dismiss because they go, hey, wow, big deal. That's their choice. Well, all of these celebrities just happen to be against Christianity and all wear the Kabbalah bracelet. All the books on Kabbalah, anyone who's read the Kabbalah or looked into the Kabbalah know it's just magic. It's just mysticism. And, it must be a coincidence that stories like this come out about Paris Hilton where, she breaks up with an ex-soccer player and she openly admits that she was putting spells on him and hired a witch, another witch to do spells with her and all this type of spell casting crap, right? But hey, that's normal because this is what normal people do, right? All of them. Everyone I expose in this channel, every time somebody's trending or something like that, you know why they're trending. All you got to do is look into them a little bit. Hilton's an obvious one because of the bloodline. Again, her grandfather, Conrad Hilton, started the Hilton chain. I'm going to show you the bloodline connections in a second. Her sister, Nikki Hilton, married into the Rothschild bloodline. Now, that should just be enough to end this entire video, where you just say, well, that's all I need to know, because the Rothschilds are not interbreeding with anyone that's not an elite bloodline, a royal bloodline. They're just not. Okay, they're not interbreeding with Goyim. So, obviously, this is just another selected marriage to interbreed these families. This is interbreeding Rothschild with the Hilton family. Now, there's rumors that Conrad Hilton, the one who started the Hilton chain, was a Freemason, a prominent Freemason. However, there's conflicting stories because some of the articles actually mention a different Hilton family member's name. The story's very suspect about how he started the whole thing, borrowing money from a bellhop and investing it and becoming, a trillionaire, whatever the Hilton brand is worth, the Hilton hotel chain is worth now. But take a look at the bloodline here. Let's scroll through the people that she's related to. You obviously see Conrad at the top. George Mason, her sixth great-grandfather. Right? So this is a direct relation, great-grandfather. Father of the U.S. Bill of Rights. King Edward, which was her 24th great-grandfather. So we're not even talking about like 20th cousins where people want to start going, oh, now you're being annoying because you're saying it's a 17th cousin and who knows, a second cousin of a 15th cousin. You got give me a break. King Henry III, 24th great-grandfather. You get all these other royal bloodlines in there. De Clares. You get William the Conqueror, King Louis the VI, another great-grandfather, so obviously related. King Robert the First, 33rd great-grandfather, the King of France, King Henry VIII, I am, right? You have Jane Seymour, the third wife of King Henry VIII. You can just go down through this list, and then it gets funny because you get to George Washington, the U.S. president being her eighth cousin, General Robert E. Lee. I mean, look at all of these people. You don't see anybody else in there. You don't see like Joe the guy up the road. I mean, how many? Look at these. This is the point being is that this power structure is set up on the relations that these people all have with each other. They interbreed with each other. Why do you think Nikki Hilton is marrying a Rothschild? Right? It's just another combo of interbreeding these elite bloodlines. Get the ninth president she's related to. So she's related to the first president. She's related to the ninth president, William Henry Harrison, your 11th cousin. She's related to Thomas Jefferson, is her 11th cousin. James Madison. So there's a third president, the fourth president. Princess Diana, more royalty. Sir Winston Churchill, the Mason, more and more of these. Grover Cleveland, 24th U.S. and 22nd U.S. president. It's a 12th cousin. You know, you get famous authors, influencers. Prince William, the Duke of Cambridge, is her 13th cousin. Prince Harry's her cousin, right? Norman Rockwell, the American artist, 13th cousin. J.P. Morgan, one of the founding fathers of the Federal Reserve, 13th cousin. But this is all coincidence. Benjamin Harrison, another president. Zachary Taylor, another president. You know, because this is what you think of when you think of Paris Hilton, right? That she's related to these people. You get Hetty Green, the Witch of Wall Street, who, you know, was a prominent investor, witch who made tons of money. Dick Clark, if you remember that guy. Dick Clark's rockin' New Year's Eve. William Howard Taft, the 27th U.S. president. The Tafts were one of the families who founded Skull and Bones at Yale. Helen Keller, you get in there. Interesting. George H.W. Bush, of course, right? 41st U.S. president, 15th cousin, so she's related to the Bush bloodline. She's related, coincidence, right? And then somehow, you know, it's the same thing with like the Kardashians. Somehow they just become famous and rich and influencers. You don't even know what they ever did. You know, oh, I'm a socialite because I'm the daughter of, you know, the Hilton brand. And yeah, and why are these families continuing to just reign over the money and the power and the wealth of the world? Because they interbreed with each other. They trick us. They change their last names around. Look, John Kerry, Skull and Bones. You can see them all. There's Queen Elizabeth II. Gotta have that. Gotta have the royal bloodline. Like I said earlier, you saw, you know, Prince Harry and Henry. You get Roy Rogers on there. So John McCain. Oh boy. I mean, how many other presidents? Gerald Ford, Nelson Rockefeller. So we're related to the Rockefeller bloodline. So now we get, with her sister, you can interbreed the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds with the Bushes and the Hiltons and the Tafts. Although the Tafts aren't considered an elite bloodline. She's related to Allen Baldwin, Ted Danson, Jimmy Carter, Mitt Romney. The list goes on and on and on. You see, I mean, this is a never-ending list. William H. Macy, just the random actor. Ellen DeGeneres, of course, they're related. Why wouldn't they be? John D. Rockefeller, right? And you don't ever hear them talk about this stuff and admit to this stuff. Britney Spears, he's related to. Amy Adams, the actress. I mean, Mickey Rourke. Barbara Bush, the believed or real daughter of Aleister Crowley. Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th president. So, Sarah Palin, again, there's another one. Lucille Ball, Lee Harvey Oswald, Warren Buffett. I mean, come on. These people trend. These people are placed in our faces as the influencers. These are all part of the elite bloodlines. The bloodlines never stopped. This country never became a republic. And these actors, musicians that people think, oh, they're so talented, they get put in these spots. They're in these spots because they're in bloodlines. They're connected, and they have an agenda to fulfill. The agenda is, you know, because people are always like, well, who cares about these people? Talk about the politicians. These are the ones influencing. They're the ones related to the politicians. They're all working hand in hand. More people are influenced by Kim Kardashian than are influenced by Mitt Romney. I mean, give me a break, right? Or influenced by Justin Bieber compared to, you know, Bob Dole or some other, who I don't even know if he's alive anymore, but you get the point, right? Those, you know, it's just another, you know, trending. She's back in the limelight, probably not for too long because people just, you know, nobody needs to see it, but she's got the Kabbalah going on. She's, you know, been articles about her doing witch hex spells on people. Her sister marries into the Rothschild bloodline. Obviously, you see her with the symbolism, with the, I'm sure there's many more of her doing the all-seeing eye and stuff like that, but you got the eyeball on the shirt, and of course, the bloodlines that you see there. Coincidence? I don't think so. These people are all connected to one another. It's about time the world start waking up to it. I thank you for listening to today's show. I want to remind you, please check out my website at callforanuprising.com if you haven't already. Please consider becoming a member. And if you aren't a Patreon, please consider that as well. That's what continues to help my YouTube channel continue on. Thanks so much for listening. God bless all of you and your families.